Thank you, Mr. Lynch. I'd like to begin by introducing the witnesses on our first panel here this morning. We're honored to have the high school student co-founders of the Dollars for Darfur High School Challenge. And I want to point out that it just so happens that these student activists and leaders come from the great Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We have Nick Anderson with us, and we have Ana Slavin with us as well. Nick and Anna's National High School fundraising competition on MySpace and Facebook websites generated over $306,000. And it's still going to be working, both of them entering their senior year, are going to continue to do work on this issue so long as it's necessary. I want to welcome you both. And I do have to tell you that it's a policy of this subcommittee to swear in all of its witnesses. So if you'd be kind enough to raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. The record will reflect that both answered in the affirmative. There's not going to be a question and answer on these particular witnesses, but we're more than grateful for your submitting of written testimony. We want to hear from you orally. You have the choice. You can either read to us your written testimony, or knowing that that's on the record, just feel free to speak and tell us whatever you'd like in your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Okay. I'm Nick Anderson, co-founder of Dollars for Darfur, the National High School Challenge to stop genocide in Darfur. In the United States, we are quite comfortable, a blessing in striking contrast to what is occurring in the Darfur region of the Sudan. In comparison to my home state of Massachusetts, the number of people in Darfur who have died so far is equivalent to 2/3 the city of Boston, and the number left homeless is approximately 1/4 of the state's population. Facts like these compelled me to act. I present to you today a bit of the history of our project. In July 2006, co-founder Ana Slavin and I flew to Washington, D.C. to meet with staff of the Save Darfur Coalition to encourage them to adopt Dollars for Darfur as one of their campaigns. We came with 3 main ideas. First, we intended to set up a national high school challenge that would both promote awareness of the situation in Darfur and raise money to be donated to Save Darfur and key relief organizations. Second, we proposed using social networking websites like Facebook and MySpace as a conduit to the Dollars for Darfur webpage. The webpage provided information to increase awareness of the atrocities occurring in Darfur and had a scoreboard page that managed the national fundraising challenge. It was a unique format for disseminating information, as Facebook and MySpace more frequently appear in the news for negative reasons. However, we knew that this awareness and fundraising strategy had the potential to reach a staggering number of high school students. Given the 22,000 plus high schools registered with Facebook alone, we determined that if each school raised just $50, the total would be over $1 million. So, we set a goal of reaching 1,000 schools and raising $200,000. In the end, we reached over 2,500 high schools and raised over $306,000. The third idea that we presented to the Save Darfur Coalition was to offer a prize of some sort to the schools that raised the most funds. This suggestion became a reality, and sitting in this room today are representatives from some of the top 10 high school fundraisers nationwide. We also extend our gratitude to the Save Darfur Coalition for creating a winner's beyond our greatest expectations. Ana and I started Dollars for Darfur because we wanted to bring attention to the horrific crimes against humanity occurring in the Sudan. We sought to harness the goodwill that we know is ubiquitous in students of our generation and provide them with a format to effect change. We aspire to define our generation as one that acted and made a difference. It was always our goal to motivate fellow high school students, but somewhere along the way, I realized that kids all across this country had deeply inspired me and opened my eyes to the power of individuals uniting to assert the indelible right to justice and liberty for all people of our global community. In towns and cities across the country, students joined Dollars for Darfur and inspired fellow students and community members to help stop the suffering in Darfur. Did you know that just $35 can provide 2 high-energy meals a day to 200 children in the Sudan? Some students who participated in the challenge could scarcely afford the dollar they gave, while others easily gave hundreds. Yet, in his or her own way, each united around this important issue and sought to define our generation as one of strength and moral fortitude.
It is an honor for us to represent high school students from around the country. And
Ana, could I actually maybe pull that a little closer to you? I would love to hear it.
And out in front of you as well.
It is an honor for us to represent high school students from around the country and to be the voice to represent everyone who contributed to Dollars for Darfur at this important hearing. As Nick and I were developing Dollars for Darfur, there was one aspect that was of primary importance: the involvement of high school students. While some view high school students to be consumed with merely the trials and tribulations of teenage life, we saw something more. We saw a generation with a desire to make a difference. Our generation has struggled to find an identity. We are now recognized for our activism. Through this challenge, we have proved that given the right form, we can have an impact. Nick and I started Dollars for Darfur by simply inviting our friends to join our Facebook and MySpace groups and encouraging them to spread the word. The numbers grew exponentially. In just 6 months, more than 7,000 high school students had joined our groups. Teens across the country have devised creative and effective ways of raising money and awareness for the cause. For example, at our school, Northfield Mount Hermon, Evan Abrams helped raise more than $15,000 and amassed a Dollars for Darfur committee consisting of over 50 students. Evan and his committee sold pizza to dorms around campus and organized a series of tournaments held in our student center. Brian Sachs from Nevada organized a walk through the Vegas Strip, raising both funds and awareness. Christine Oxner from Clearwater Central Catholic High School organized a school-wide dress-down day, in which students could pay to dress in the clothing of their choice rather than their uniforms. Numerous schools like Deerfield Academy and Athens Academy held benefits concerts, both run and performed by students. Students from Wyoming High School even went door-to-door through their communities, educating people about the situation and receiving donations. Through these efforts, Dollars for Darfur raised over $300,000 in just 6 months. The success of Dollars for Darfur demonstrates 2 things about our generation. We have extremely effective social networks that can be quickly mobilized, and we are passionate about ending the genocide in Darfur. I would like to read a few excerpts from the hundreds of messages students posted on Dollars for Darfur Facebook and MySpace sites to give you a sense of some of the incredible enthusiasm we encountered throughout the Dollars for Darfur challenge. Claire Helfrich from the American School of The Hague writes, "This is great, you guys. Here in the Netherlands, my school has done a Save Darfur campaign as well. With all our efforts and money, we can really make a difference." Christine Gerard from Oakton High School wrote, "Forget the imaginary lines that divide us from Africa. A suffering human being in Darfur is just as important as a U.S. citizen, and furthermore worthy of our attention, compassion, and aid." Finally, Alex Mandel from Soulbury School posted the following quotation from Nelson Mandela. "Sometimes it falls upon a generation to be great. You can be that generation." Our generation knows it will inherit a world with staggering problems. We simply can't wait for others to change the world. We must start now. Taking action to stop the Darfur genocide is of great concern to high school students. According to a recent survey of 18 to 24-year-olds conducted by Harvard University's Institute of Politics, the crisis in Darfur was identified as the most important foreign policy issue after stabilizing Iraq. Our generation will vote in 2008, and we will support candidates who work to promote human rights. We are grateful to the Save Darfur Coalition for supporting us and believing in this idea. We would also like to acknowledge the work that members of this subcommittee have done to help end the genocide in Darfur. We extend our sincere gratitude for convening this hearing and listening to our testimony.
Thank you, Anna and Anna, and thank you, Nick. I think I can speak for all the members of the subcommittee that are here and those that have read your testimony and aren't here yet, that it's very impressive, and your generation has certainly found its identity, and human rights is about as good as you can do when you're looking for a cause. I understand that you have some representatives from some of the high schools that were leaders in raising the money. Can we ask all of them to stand so we can acknowledge their work as well?
Maybe they could say what schools they were from. Just ask them what's more.
While you're up, would you please stay standing and say, would you tell us your name and what school you attend and where?
I'm Evan Abrams. I'm from the Northfield School.
Thank you. Well, thank you all very, very much. You're doing spectacular things. And Nick and Anna, thank you very much for your testimony. I think what you're doing is tremendous, and you are just setting such a great example, and others are going to follow. And we'll look forward to watching you. This will not be the last we hear from either of you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much.